Welcome back to True Crime Lounge podcast here on YouTube and Spotify. I do have a Patreon that you can join for early access to episodes scheduled to come out. I also have a merch shop that you can get your true crime gear. For any updates, you can find me on my channel or you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Now, with that being said, let's dive into the reason you clicked on this episode. Today, we are going to be talking about the case of Cynthia Anderson. The disappearance of Cynthia is regarded as stranger than fiction. She vanished on August 4th of 1981 from the law office where she worked as a secretary. Her personal belongings weren't missing, but her vehicle remained in the parking lot. While investigating her disappearance, authority discovers an open romance novel. In an eerie coincidence, Cynthia had stopped reading during the scene in which a main character is abducted. Coincidence much? I think not. Um, but police are already investigating her disappearance with the possibility of foul play. But this gave them a pause. Also, could she have faked her own abduction to disappear and start over? Some days I want to start over, but I mean, it is possible, but we don't know that. This is why it's a still active case and why it's on this channel and podcast right now. But there were anonymous tips months after she disappeared, and that she was being held captive in a basement in a remote residence. But authorities were unable to corroborate this statement. And the wildest theory about her whereabouts came when a lawyer from her firm was arrested for drug trafficking. So could her disappearance have something to do with his arrest? Um, Possibly. I am not exactly sure. Um, the speculation that Cynthia might have known too much, something illegal was going on, could could possibly it be it, and he could. I don't know. This is a theory, but this is what we do know about the case. Man is dragging a woman down the hall. Both of them are in shadows. Cynthia is plagued by bad dreams. And so by 1980, a 20-year-old Cindy Anderson of Toledo, Ohio, was plagued by a series of frightening dreams. In one episode, the acquaintance she lets in the door betrays her trust. Cindy's sister, Christine Savage, Savage, however you pronounce it. Sorry, I'm terrible with names. I apologize for that. Her talking about her dreams. One morning, while she was getting ready for work, she overheard Cindy talking to her mom, saying, "I do believe that the dreams could have been a premonition of fears, and Cindy actually was subconscious at the time." But that is an interesting theory though, because think about it. How many times do we really dream something and then we see it happen? Um, but at this point, the police are searching for clues. And on August 4th, 1981, Cindy went back to work as usual. She was employed as a legal secretary in the morning and usually worked in the office alone. She kept the doors locked at all times, and a buzzer had been installed at her desk so she could keep alert of the shop next door if there was trouble. One day at noon, Jim Rabbit and Jay Feldstein, two of the lawyers, arrived back at their office, according to Jim Rabbit. And he will go on to say that Jay and I came back from downtown, um, got got to the door where the lights were on, and the door was locked. We unlocked the door, went inside, yelled for Cindy, and no one answered. He will also go on to say that he started to look around in the front, and so Cindy, when she would leave, would place the phones on hold, and that wasn't done either. So Jim would go on to say that Cindy had left her romance novel open to a violent scene in the book where a heroine is abducted at knife point. It wasn't until really looking at the book, particularly reading the passage in the novel, that she had a sickening feeling. Cindy was never seen again. There was no body, no farewell letter, and right now my mind's really thinking of Taylor Swift, No Body, No Crime. Of all time for that to pop in my head. But anyway, no hint where she had gone or why she had disappeared. Were Cindy's dreams premonitions of something terrible? Or was it just a coincidence? Um, a man, it, a man is holding an old landline phone to his face, and a mysterious caller provided a new lead. Cindy was raised in a strict religious environment. Her family, her boyfriend, most of her social circle were devout Christian fundamentalists. Cindy's dad, Michael Anderson, was said that she was very quiet, obedient type of girl. She never made waves with either herself or her mom, and that she had a lot of friends, and that she was the type of daughter that you just enjoy. I mean, just beautiful at a young age. Her sister had no idea where she might have been. At the time of her disappearance, there was no circumstances in her life that would have been made anybody aware of what could have happened to her and what caused her to run away. She was looking forward to quitting her job in 2 weeks and going to Bible school where she would attend with her boyfriend, and she was very excited. Her dad had noticed a change in her daughter's behavior. He would say just before she disappeared. However, she became a very she was acting like a debutante, and she was spending a lot of time on her face, and she skipped breakfast for this reason. And that may be the problem. The day she vanished, the police immediately searched for clues. Cindy's car keys and purse were missing, but she was also but the office was undisturbed, and according to Toledo Police Detective William Adams, there was no sign of a struggle. Her car was parked in front of the law office. Her bank account, which had a nice substantial amount of money, was never touched. Her social security number had shown up hadn't shown up had never shown up in any other workplace, and it's a complete mystery as to how she disappeared. Larry Mullins was a client at the office where Cindy worked at, and the day Cindy quit, Cynthia Anderson disappeared. Um, it is believed that he was coming by to pay a legal fee. She got the phone call. She kind of reacted like maybe it was obscene or something that hung up real quick. And the look on her face still she that he can picture this day said that she was scared and sincerely scared. And it gave him shivers that think of the look on her face. That he went home, called the police department, and asked them to do a drive by and check on her. Something scared the hell out of her, in his opinion. In September 1981, a month after she vanished, another strange phone call gave police a new lead. According to Detective Adams, a woman called to report that Cindy was being held in the basement of a White House. She would go on to say that she said that she was scared, and she was talking low in whispers, and she kept saying she had to go. And that I kept begging her to stay on the line. I gave her to give me more information, an exact address, and everything. A short while later, she called again, and the lady mentioned that there were two houses side by side owned by the same family, and that the family was out of town, but the son was home and he was party that is holding Cindy custody. We did check we did check the streets and on the north to see if we could find two houses side by side. There's many, but you can't find any positive location of the house. Michael Anderson had wondered if his daughter isn't living somewhere with amnesia. I mean, it's possible, but um, because he would go on to say, if she herself is out there, we would we want her to know we love her and certainly hope she comes back. After Cindy's disappearance, a local grand jury indicted 9 people for drug trafficking. Some suspect that Cindy knew one of them and was killed overhearing the incriminating comments. No charges were ever filed, but yeah. So if y'all know something about this case, please speak up, because any little bit of evidence can help. Hopefully you are still alive out there, Cynthia, and we want you to be alive. And when you come home safely, if you feel like you can come home. But that's it for today's episode. I will see y'all next time. Y'all have a great day.